If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you running a business is tough. Don't let QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down anymore. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite gives you the visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Join the over 21,000 companies using NetSuite right now. Schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/C-suite. netsuite.com/C-suite.
Welcome to the Superhero Homies podcast. This is the Chimichanga edition. My name is Quentin, and as always, I'm here with the homie Kevin.
Hey, good evening, everybody. It is that lovely time again, and this time with Mexican dinner, apparently.
Yeah. You know, I'm a little disappointed that we didn't see Deadpool eat a chimichanga in the first one.
Yeah. I mean, some could argue that he just likes to say the word.
No. I have a graphic novel where he's eating a shitload of chimichangas.
I remember because I read the same one. But I mean, I don't know. Ryan Reynolds, he's probably like, nah, I'm good.
He loves that character too much. I think he'd do it.
Oh, I think he totally would. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Just like one day he would hopefully be a guest with us at, Deadpool so-and-so, The Return of the X-Force or something. Who knows? That's... I'm calling it now.
That's right.
Yep.
We're calling you out, Ryan Reynolds. Come on the show. Yeah, sure.
Please.
I'm sure he will. Yeah.
Hey, stars. Famous people have done some cool things,
If you guys haven't guessed yet, tonight is our coverage, or not really any kind of coverage, it's our preview of Deadpool 2.
Really? I thought we were covering New Mutants.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Which I guess leads me to my first fun fact. It's kind of backwards because X-Force is a derivative of the New Mutants. The New Mutants were around first, and then Cable took them, and they kind of formed X-Force. So,
the more you know.
The more you know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did not even mean for that to happen. But yes, Deadpool 2. Yep. The return of Deadpool.
Yep. Return to the Merc with the mouth. I think a lot of people are looking forward to this one. Let me ask you this right off the bat, Kevin, and you're going to know exactly why I'm asking you this question. Why... Or not, this isn't a why question.
I was wondering, because money.
Yeah, because money. Yeah. Do you think that the release date of this movie being wedged between Infinity War and Han Solo, do you think that works for it or against it?
I think it works for it, dude. I really do, because a lot of people are just now coming off of the Thanos hype and the ending of Infinity, which I still will not divulge here. I won't open that book yet, but...
Oh, I'll do it.
No, we don't need to. There's no need right now, Q. Let's pull the trigger later.
If you're listening to this podcast...
Q.
And
drink some drink.
If you're listening to the podcast...
Have some kombucha.
No. If you're a real superhero homie, then you should already know. So there.
There's that. There you go. That's true. If you do advently listen to the podcast and follow up with us, you will know, and everything's cool.
There's no need for hand-holding on this podcast, Kevin.
Oh, no, we're not holding no daggum hands. I'm also just, trying to be fair. That being said...
Fair is 2 weeks. After that, it's on you. If you haven't seen the movie after 2 weeks, then it's on you.
Or if Facebook has not spoiled it for you yet somehow,
I mean, Facebook is free to spoil. There are no such thing as spoilers after 2 weeks. After that, it's just called information.
That's true. How many people have you run into that haven't seen the movie yet? Let me ask you that.
That say they want to see it. So far, only one.
Okay. Good clarification on the end there, a little add-on, because I see and meet a lot of people in my job that keep telling me, no, I haven't seen it yet. But that is a fair adage. Going back to your question, however, no, I think it's a strong suit that they put it right in between, Infinity and Han Solo. Because one, those are both, impressive titles that hold a lot of power. Two, people are just coming off the Infinity War craze, and that's caused a huge sweep of energy and comic fandom to really rise up again, all for theaters and all for people. And now Deadpool's going to be riding on that energy too. I think it works out. Yeah.
I think that I kind of think the opposite a little bit. I think that Deadpool. I definitely do see your point though, and it is a good one.
Yeah.
But I do think that Deadpool probably, I guess in this hypothetical scenario, would fare better if it had like a release date, like the kind of release date that Venom has. Venom to me has the perfect release date for a superhero movie.
When's that?
It's
Remind
like
me.
I think October. Because like there's not any kind of big superhero movies then. Most superhero movies try to reserve that summer spot.
Right.
Most big blockbusters, as a matter of fact, try to reserve those summer slots. And so I think that obtaining like a fall slot would be great because people are like, there's nothing to see. Holy shit, Deadpool's coming out. Whereas now, even we forgot about the movie.
That's true. I'm sure there are some people out there who get so lost in the craze that all of a sudden Deadpool became, the back burner.
Yeah.
Which isn't uncommon for something so big and large as Infinity was, Out of context, that sounds ridiculous. But I do gotta say this. If there's any character and any personality that can pull that off, I think it is Ryan Reynolds with his energy that he's been putting into Deadpool. I think him and his perfect alignment with this fictional being, almost making him realistic, has really brought it to life more so than most anyone else could. You know.
Well, at that point, it's almost like talking about the movie itself and how it is, where it's really more of just a promotional standpoint.
Oh yeah, no, we are talking promotional. You're right, though. That could even be synonymous with like the actual caricature of the movie and everything. And
but yeah, I just thought
multi-folded conversation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and another thing, guys, here really quick. If you haven't already caught on, there is not a comic news or question of the week.
No, this is technically. Oh wait, this is our Sunday cast. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we're recording our Sunday cast early because Mother's Day. I guess I'll go see her.
Day of Moms. Go see your mother. Yeah, tell her I said hey.
And also, we're not doing the comic news. One, because I have not been able to find a lot of comic news since Tuesday. It has not been that long, so unfortunately, it's gonna be kind of a gap here. But that just means a nice, meteor comic news next week.
Cool.
And comic question, I decided to spare Kevin, so we'll just do it.
Okay. Hey, I got the last one right.
No.
Wait. No, I got my own last one right. I remember that one where I was like, "Hey, I'm counting this." Yeah. Which question was that? What was this? No, you asked me the one about the Robins, I think. No, what was the last one?
The last comic question I asked you was which superheroes had the most deaths.
That's right, and Cap won that one. Yep. But I didn't choose Cap. Yep. What do you know?
But anyway, so. Yeah, Deadpool 2 coming out in just a couple days here now, a little less than a week now.
Exactly.
Hot damn. Like, he came here quick, and Kevin and I were not prepared.
We weren't. Luckily, that friend of yours asked you, "Hey, so what's going on? You excited about the movie?"
Yeah, and I literally was like, "What movie are you talking about?" He's like, "Deadpool 2." I was like, "Oh, shit, yeah. Yes, I am."
That is a weak point, and I will concede that to you. Because Infinity War had us so swept away, especially you and I, because we've been putting so much of that movie into this podcast, trying so hard to let people know, hey, this is some cool stuff happening. We're doing cool stuff with it. Oh, Deadpool's coming up. Oh, it's always 2 weeks away. It's always 2 weeks away. Oh, it's next week.
Yeah. And, I guess the thing of it is that I think that it's a really good thing that Infinity War moved a week up, giving Deadpool 2, a little bit more time to breathe.
I was actually considering that. Like, maybe they did that because of Deadpool.
I mean, I guess they could. It'd be a really nice move of Disney, but I'm not sure why they do it.
And knowing Disney, I mean, outside of their plot lines and, their cartoon, blah, blah, blah bullshit, they are they don't have a reputation of being nice.
Yeah,
no, they
all.
have a dick reputation.
Right. I mean, the only thing I can think of is the slim chance that maybe they were afraid that Deadpool 2 would hurt some of their earnings on the back end.
Plausible.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't sit in the conference meeting, so I'll go ahead and say, yeah, sure.
I'm just throwing things at the wall here.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it looks like it stuck to me.
I mean, because it's possible.
Right.
Like the projections as of now, of course, they're not clear and they're not going to be exact. But like the common thread right now, as far as what this movie could do, is they're predicting that this could do $1 billion or close to it, which is ridiculous for an R-rated movie, because even though R-rated movies a lot of times are just as excellent as any other rated movie,
or sometimes awesomer.
Yeah, sometimes even better. The thing of it is, they oftentimes don't make nearly as much money as like the PG-13s or the PGs.
True.
Simply because parents don't let their kids go.
Right. Limited audience.
Yep.
Well,
and everybody remembers the big to-do about Deadpool 1 when it came out 2 years ago, about all the kids wanting to go and the mother writing the letter, because she thinks that the movie should be rated PG-13 so her son can go and see it, and then Ryan Reynolds basically saying, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
And it was all a great time.
it really was.
Yeah. But what I can say right now, I guess just veering more towards the movie, is Deadpool 2, it does have a lot to live up to, because one thing that made Deadpool 1 so great was, one, that it was really personal. Like, it was a really small story if you look at it. And they had a really small budget and they made bank off of it.
Oh, yeah.
And because
they had no faith in the movie.
Fox really didn't have any kind of faith in it, you're right. And
and then all of a sudden, what was it? It was quote-unquote leaked.
Yeah. And I don't think Ryan Reynolds has confirmed that it was him, but I think it was him.
I'm pretty damn sure at this point.
That he leaked that test footage, and then of course it went viral, and everybody saw it, and was like, "This movie needs to happen." And then Fox finally greenlit it, and kudos to Fox, for greenlighting an R-rated superhero movie.
Yeah, good job to you for having the stones.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not the first. Blade may probably be the first R-rated.
Okay.
Yeah, but in this modern day, Deadpool is definitely the first or the most recent R-rated superhero movie besides Logan. But,
right.
Yeah, but it's arguable that there probably wouldn't even be a Logan if Deadpool wasn't successful. I think that's a very strong argument.
Yeah, no, I would side with you on that. I mean, it's sad to think about, and I don't want to, but yeah. But no, you were saying. Yeah.
So one thing that Deadpool 1 did that really captured the audiences and that really helped project it into the stratosphere of like, cult icons and personalities is that there's a couple things. One, Ryan Reynolds is amazing as Deadpool.
Right. Again, this is some Marvel casting powers coming to work here. They have uncanny abilities, and Ryan Reynolds, just like others, is a perfect fit into this role.
I would like to clarify a little bit. I think that Marvel Studios has perfect casting. Marvel Fox,
okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, this is a good win for Marvel Fox. It's about time that. Well, actually, I don't know their whole history there. I won't say that because that would be unfair. But I will say this. This was a damn good casting call.
Oh,
Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool. He was born for this.
Yeah.
Sorry, Van Wilder. You're gone.
But he's definitely at the core of what made the first one so successful was that they had a great character or a great character actor playing Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
And then on top of that, there was a great supporting cast. And here's the thing, like Deadpool or Ryan Reynolds did such a phenomenal job as Deadpool, and the cast of side characters were also really well done.
Oh, yeah.
From Blind Al to Colossus to freaking Teenage Negasonic Warhead. They were all done so well that you almost forget that Francis was a dud. Francis was not a good villain.
No, he really wasn't.
No, but you don't even think about that though. When you think about Deadpool, your first thought is, that was a really good movie,
right?
And and it's not that the villain sucked.
And you're right. A lot of the supporting cast were powerhouses when it came to their partnerships and their chemistry with Ryan. For instance, T.J. Miller is already a pretty damn great comedic genius. You know, he's done a lot of other work. Emote was not his best, but emoji, whatever the hell that movie is. You know what I'm talking about.
The Silicon Valley. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, no, he and Ryan Reynolds were just both great at improvising scenes together and just really coming up with creative joke shit, you know? And then, of course, Ryan and Vanessa, damn.
Yeah.
You know? Dadgum. Yeah.
Yeah, that's also another really great chemistry. And just with these characters alone, there's a lot of meat to pack into here in this podcast.
Yeah.
So there's a couple things.
And we haven't even moved on to the second one yet.
Yeah, we haven't moved on into anything yet at all.
No. We're still glorifying the first.
We are. But yeah, just mentioning like some things that made the first one so great.
Please continue.
The fact that they didn't shy away from playing around with Deadpool's personality or his physical attributes.
Right.
And even though they took great liberties with the Teenage Negasonic Warhead, like so much so that they had to go to like Marvel themselves and be like, hey, we're going to make some drastic changes to this character. Is this okay? And then obviously they got the okay.
Okay.
But yeah, it's funny to think about though, because like, originally in the comics, Teenage Negasonic Warhead, she was more of like an extreme telepath type character. Not anything like the way
very different from what we got then.
Oh, extremely different. Yeah.
Cool. Appreciated.
But what's funny now is that the comics are now trying to accommodate the movie version rather the other way around.
Isn't that normal too, though? I mean, remember,
not to that extent. Not to the extent of changing the powers.
Okay. I mean, I'll give you that. But at the same time, comics have had that history. Like Wolverine. Remember when he was like a 5 nothing and all of a sudden became, more Hugh Jackman-y? To
be fair, that version came and went. Like the Ultimate Verse is been dead for years. So,
do you think the same could happen to this new character then?
What, Teenage? I mean, as in
like it's a comic run and they do their own separate series and then eventually they even call it like non-canon and then all of a sudden it just kind of ends and falls off somewhere. Kind of like, because you're talking about the Ultimate series, right?
Yeah. Well, that was an entire comic universe that, just kind of collapsed.
And it wasn't too bad. It was just kind of like a retelling totally different way, though.
Right. I enjoyed it.
Same here.
More or less,
I remember I rented out the book from our library.
Yeah.
I was in middle school. Yeah. We probably rented the same exact book.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, I read a lot of the Ultimate X-Men, a lot of the Ultimate Spider-Man. That was really good too. Yeah. And even even the Ultimates. That was like their version of the Avengers.
I'm sorry, what?
The Ultimates.
Oh, I thought you said the Ultimates, like mint.
Yeah, sure.
That's what I heard. So I was just kind of like, that sounds like a really great version of Spearmint or something. Someone needs to call a chewing gum factory. Go call. Oh shit, I lost track of one.
Ridley.
Ridley. There you go.
Ridley.
Why not? Go call Ridley too. I'm losing track here. Please bring us back.
Yeah. But no. So with the Teenage Negasonic Warhead, though, I think that the changes made to her probably for the better. I mean, she's a minor character in the comics. I don't think that anybody really better than I at any kind of subtle changes that were made to her. So.
If anything, they appreciated it,
Yeah.
If they knew any better, that is. Right.
Another character that I've been questioning about, and I'm going to keep throwing this at the wall until it sticks, is about Vanessa, because...
I knew that one was going to come up. I did, but please, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's get those concerns out here.
Oh, well, I mean, it's not even so much concerns. It's that I'm wondering about the nature of her character. I'm wondering if something happened, and I've been trying to piece this together now for, I guess, 2 years. Did something happen in the first one that would allow her...
It's been 2 years.
Yeah. Will something happen, did something happen in the first one that will allow her powers to take place? Like, will she become copycat? Where will her powers emerge?
Do you think that we'll see evidence of that somewhere hidden in the plot of this movie?
I think it's possible.
Yeah, no, same here.
And so an interesting crackpot theory that I have, and when I say crackpot, that means that even I don't believe it. So don't take any credence in this whatsoever. However, if this theory does become true, then I take full credit for it.
Okay, wait a minute. It's like you took a $5 bet.
Oh man, but no. So when the X-Force was first formed, I've been reading Under the Gun. That's recently, by the way, people. Under the Gun is a classic X-Force story. Takes place way back in the 90s when Rob Liefeld was still drawing the shit. But it's pretty early on in the X-Force's run. But anyways, I was reading that, and then it reminded me of a bunch of things here as I was preparing for this preview podcast.
Sure.
And one of those things that in this early run of the X-Force, of course, Domino was on the team. She was a primary member, but she really loved to stick with Cable more or less. And so one dominant theory that's been going around about the movies is that Domino may switch sides and begin to work for Cable in the movie, which is plausible. But my theory goes a little bit deeper than that.
I was wondering, that sounds pretty reasonable. Why is that crackpot? But okay, let's get deeper into the pot.
Yeah. I'm going like Code 6 level conspiracy theory, deep crackpot theorizing.
Do you have the authorization to go down the shaft that far, sir? Do you have the authorization for this elevator ride?
I do, actually. I have my
I'm going to need your authorization phrases.
You would have to check with my supervisor. He has all of that.
I am your supervisor. I'm going to need 2 golden keys, the silver key, and we're going to need a 6-word phrase. And I already forgot everything. Yeah, we're done.
But no, so my theory is basically this. So in the comics, there's a really lengthy run of the X-Force where we realize that Domino is not Domino. Domino has in fact been Copycat that entire time. And the real Domino has been kidnapped, but she was alive and safe.
She got unlucky.
Yeah, sure. And so my theory is this: what if the Domino we get here isn't the real Domino? What if, come to find out, that there's a portion of the movie where Domino isn't in fact Domino? What if she's Copycat?
Maybe. I'd be surprised. And now I see why it's a crackpot, because I'd be so surprised if they pull out a fresh new character on the audience, do the establishment to help us like her and understand her, and then at the last minute rip all that away and give us a whole new person practically. You know? Like, storytelling wise, that's what's going on. Yeah. And that's kind of like a taboo for writing, you know? So if they do that, it'd be like a huge, you guys are really trying to get away with some shit here. Are you trying to distract me with Ryan Reynolds right now? You know? So hearing all that, yes, I believe that there could definitely be a card flipping of her going with Cable, saying, you know what, let's you and I partner up, do some cool shit. You understand my power as an actual superpower, but maybe not that deep in let's not get into that Code 6 shit. I don't believe that one yet. We'll see.
Did you miss the part where I said I don't believe it?
Right. No, I'm saying that there's room for that to come to life, I'm sure, eventually in the Deadpool storytelling, but I hope it doesn't do that in this movie.
I hope it doesn't either, because there's a lot going on in this movie.
Right.
There's a lot of moving pieces. A lot of moving pieces in this trailer, in the trailers even. But
where to start?
I do hope that we see some sign of Copycat, though.
Okay.
Because it's at this point, it's kind of like they're still just taunting us with it. Like, hey, here's this character, Vanessa. You remember she did a Deadpool in the comics, and then come to find out she was masquerading as Domino the whole time, and then blah 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 blah. The whole Deadpool Vanessa relationship is canonical to an extent, but it's just interesting that they're kind of sitting on the whole Copycat deal. So it's hard to say.
Well, I would say they still totally have space to pull off some cool stuff like that.
They do.
Yeah. Even with all this cool new list of characters we're getting.
And And so I guess let's kind of get into what we know.
Sure. Okay. Let's get onto that list. Mm-hmm. So
what we do know is the villain of the movie is Black Tom Cassidy.
Yep. And then branching off from that, we know he's going to be in the movie, but you and I were talking about loosely with a third party the other night. Does that give room for Juggernaut to potentially come out?
Well, now, see, I think that's in the section of things that we don't know is going to be in the movie.
Sure.
But
okay, I was using this to branch out there, but if we're going to organize like that, then I will table the question. Just know it's looking at you.
Yeah, no, we can go ahead and tackle that one because it is kind of a big question.
I mean, we're not the only ones who've thought this.
Oh, no, not at all. It's very possible that Juggernaut is in it. I will say this. Comic book movies as a whole, they don't have the best track record for hiding this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Because
that's depressing.
Yeah. What is also depressing is the fact that, can you name a scene in the trailers where we get like a prominent shot of Black Tom Cassidy?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
No.
So if they're trying to hide him, kudos,
It's like, are they trying to hide him, or are they just trying to pull our focus away for other reasons?
Don't say that.
I know.
See, don't make me think about that shit, man. Just let me live ignorantly in bliss and happiness, okay? But no, the thoughts already crossed my mind, and damn it, damn it.
I mean, because it feels like this movie is about Deadpool, it's about fighting Cable. And it's about the forming of the X-Force.
His cool new team, of course, and how they kind of turned the X-Force into like a comedy force, too, at the same time. But then...
Well, yeah. And this movie is not so much about Black Tom Cassidy. And I hate to say this, but going even further, this makes me think of another movie. It makes me think of Civil War.
Okay.
Because with Civil War and all the trailers, they put the focus on, of course, Team Cap versus Team Iron Man, the cool fights, the introduction of Spider-Man and Black Panther. That's what the focus was put on.
Right.
What was not shown or barely even mentioned in the trailers was Zemo, but we all knew that
and we
Zemo.
all knew why now.
Well, we all knew that Zemo was going to be in the movie as the villain, and then we watched the movie and Zemo was terrible.
Yeah.
And so I'm afraid that that's kind of the result that we were going to get here.
Okay. So let me ask you this. I'm going to carefully phrase it so as to not piss off any other fanboy out there. The big umbrella question, the paranoia, the typical way of the world here, okay? So most sequel movies in the comic book world, with exceptions, bold, italicized, underlined, with exceptions, have not been successful. Now, without making that too dramatic of a deal, it feels like in that light, in that, thought of, school of thought and whatnot, that this movie is going to fall under that, even though it is our beloved Deadpool. Do you think that that's the case, yes or no? And why? Not to make this an essay question.
That it could fall under the umbrella of
being a weak sequel to a pretty great first movie. Because the first movie had a lot going for it. It was fresh and it was new and we were captivated by it and we were immediately pulled in even though there was a weak-ass villain. Now, it feels like in your words, what you were talking about just now, that we're going to kind of get the same product, but with some Terry Crews muscles and Domino luck shots and a lot more Vanessa hotness, I'm sure. But is that the way this movie's going?
That's a very strong possibility.
Okay.
I think that this movie is going to be a lot more of the first one. I think it's going to be like the first one, but on steroids, essentially.
Right. And that's kind of what we talked about ages ago too.
Yeah.
To be that, I don't remember how that conversation went on or off mic, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess my biggest fear for the movie is kind of that,
right.
The fact that we'll just get a movie that's on a bigger scale, but ultimately it still doesn't try to correct any of the mistakes that it made in the previous film.
Okay, so I know we're off track a little bit, but bear with me here because these are the questions that I love to death. Damn it! So let's find a direction and let's pave out a clear path of thought here. What does this movie need to do to not be that sequel, to be The Dark Knight, to be awesome?
Mm-hmm. The thing of it is, unfortunately, is that this movie gave itself a handicap by introducing the X-Force. I love the X-Force,
Right.
and I love that they're introducing them.
But should it have been a surprise? Is that what you're saying?
Well, not even that, but by introducing the X-Force, you're introducing 5, maybe 6 new characters that we have to learn, who they are. Are they interesting characters? Are they going to have time to really display that? Are we going to know who they are? Or is it going to be like some previous X-Men films where we just see these mutants kind of use their powers and then don't get shit about them?
And then that's our explanation.
Right.
Like, oh, he's an ice dude, I guess. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and so I think that the X-Force could be a double-edged sword as far as them being in the movie.
Okay. So let's backtrack here. In that case, what does this movie need to do to actually, become not just a fun audience thriller, which it obviously will be and then some, but to actually be a successful quality film?
Okay. So I love the idea of Cable kind of taking that antagonistic role and coming for the quote unquote kid. And I love the fact that we still don't know who it is. There's a bunch of guesses that we'll get to later.
I have a guess myself, and I'll throw it at you in a minute, but let's continue.
And I think that that's a really good tactic as well. Really good tactic to draw people in. If they stick the landing on that, then that can be a really great thing to help the movie, be a successful film.
Agreed. Okay.
The action is, of course, the huge draw, and the comedy and the writing for Deadpool. I mean, I think we all feel confident that they're going to nail that.
Classic, of course.
But what they really need to do, though, is find a way to make a villain that's compelling opposite of Deadpool.
There it is, there.
That's the big money maker, and I think that's why they're showing Cable in this almost bad guy-esque role, because he is kind of that that opposite of Deadpool.
See, that's such a clear light to view. That really is. If you asked me, I'm sure I would have said the same thing, but in this moment, I had not thought about that. And you know what? You're right. I think the villain in this case is going to be what really ropes this movie together. And who knows? Maybe they're hiding him for the sake he's such a great villain. And that's a very optimistic thought, knock on some wood. But no. And then, of course, Cable and the kid, that's another thing we know to attempt to bring us back to that path. Because, ooh-wee.
Yeah. But I will say this, though. We did mention Juggernaut earlier.
Okay.
And of course, about his possibility of being in the movie because, of course, like Black Tom Cassidy is literally Juggernaut's only friend.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I will say this: if Juggernaut is in the movie, and Black Tom Cassidy, I don't think that either one of them are going to have really prominent roles.
Okay. Do you think that they can make a great partnership, though? Because sometimes a partnership could make a great villainy.
Yeah, I think that maybe we'll get maybe one big action set piece with them both in it.
But nothing quality. See, action set piece is fun and cool, and you're just like, ooh, yay, but it's fireworks. It's up and gone. You burnt away $50 on, polluted air and, burnt cardboard and the smell of black powder, Happy 4th, everybody. Yeah. Okay, that's sad.
Yeah, that's kind of where my thoughts are at. I mean, because if Juggernaut's in the movie, then yes, we're going to see the Juggernaut versus Colossus fight, and it's going to be great. And then I think we'll see Black Tom maybe versus Deadpool or another member of the X-Force, maybe Domino, and that can also be really fun. But ultimately, they're obviously not the main focus of the movie. Black Tom, even who he knows in the movie, is not the main focus.
Damn. Yeah. I think a lot more of the main focus in this case is going to be the developing relationship of Cable and Deadpool.
Right.
I will say this, though. I will testify to another thought we had the other night. Q here had a great point, guys. the Juggernaut we need in this movie, if theoretically Juggernaut makes an appearance in this movie, if they decide to so hand us such, we need a fully CG Juggernaut and not, the Juggernaut of the movie past.
Right. No offense to him.
Right, no offense, because again, he's a damn good actor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but we need, full size, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch, Yeah.
Especially if you're going to go up against this version of Colossus,
right?
Which is the most accurate version that we've seen on the big screen.
Yeah. And I mean, make him CG, because Colossus looks damn good.
Oh, yeah. Colossus is a giant CG guy.
Yeah.
I mean, the Colossus is entirely CG in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, even the grenade explosion in his belly is CG. It's cool. Yeah. But,
yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm glad we aired that out, because, I mean, fun, action-filled, comedy-filled movies are great and all, but,
Yeah.
I love me some actual quality too here,
Yeah. I think that the real quality of this movie is going to be between Deadpool and Cable,
and potentially this kid. But we'll get into that more.
And potentially the kid. Yeah,
Right.
you're right. But guys, if you're going into this looking for like a cool introduction to Black Tom Cassidy, I don't think that this is going to be it.
Nope. I mean, I'm trying to remember. Do we want to review that real quick? Like, what the hell is Black Tom Cassidy about? Yeah, let's talk about that.
So, yeah, he has a pretty cool story in the comics, Okay. I mean, he's actually Banshee's cousin, if you guys can put that together. Banshee is, of course, Sean Cassidy, and then there's Tom Cassidy, who was Black Tom Cassidy.
Right. Hey, you want to reenact Banshee into the mic real quick?
I do not.
How to piss off everybody.
Yeah. So, essentially, with Black Tom, they call him, he's called Black Tom because he's kind of the black sheep of the Irish family that he and Sean grew up in. Yep. And he always kind of had a bit of a resentment towards Sean, towards Banshee, because I think it was actually in a dice game that they had. Banshee, he won like their house estate and like the fortune along with it. Yeah.
What? Why would you gamble that? Damn, guys.
Yeah. And so there's been a little bit of resentment since then, but I think the real meat of their hatred towards each other came later on. This is when Banshee, he was like a secret operative. I forget what group, maybe Interpol. Okay. But Banshee, he met up with this girl. Both he and Tom had a thing for this woman.
Of course.
I forget what her name was, but anyway, it's not really that important. But anyways, the Banshee, I think he marries this woman, but he goes away to do this mission for Interpol. And while he's away, his wife is tragically killed in some kind of accident. And at this point, Banshee doesn't know that his wife is killed, and he also doesn't know that his wife had a daughter. Yeah.
Oh, that's messed up.
Yeah, it was his daughter. It was
right, yeah.
Banshee's daughter, but
still,
he didn't know. So Black Tom, or when Banshee came back, Black Tom was like, hey, look, cuz, I don't know how to tell you this, but your wife is dead. And before Black Tom could even tell Sean about his daughter, Banshee just kind of went crazy, and he let out one of those loud sounding screams, and it knocked Black Tom off into like this little ditch cliff type deal.
Sure.
And Black Tom broke his leg, and he kind of walked permanently with a limp, which explains the shillelagh that he has all the time, and he also uses as a weapon.
Okay.
And then I think that's really where the resentment really kicked off. And
you broke my leg.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it gave him a permanent limp. So
right,
yeah.
Well, that's pretty messed up.
And then as as retribution, Black Tom did not tell Banshee about his daughter, and he kept Banshee's daughter for himself. Siren, of course, the other sound emitting mutant.
So what's his power set?
Yeah,
Let's talk about that.
His power set essentially is that if he's using any kind of wooden object, he can use it to absorb and manifest like a electric bioblast. Yeah.
Wait. Okay. Let's back up. If he's using a wooden object,
yeah, like most times it's his shillelagh that he uses. Mm-hmm.
But it can absorb.
Yeah.
And dish out electric.
Yeah. And he can it's more of like a concussive blast that he shoots out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's not like a beam, kind of like Cyclops' thing, or like a psionic attack. Like a. Okay. Interesting. So
depends on the artist, who's drawing it.
Also, yes, good point. That's fair.
And
comics and whatnot.
Yeah, in recent years, his powers have developed even more, almost into like a Poison Ivy-esque deal. Or like,
he can like grow wood.
Well, more like he can manipulate.
I'm so sorry.
I think all guys have that ability, anyways. But no, he can like use plant life in this weird way where he can manipulate it to almost make himself invulnerable because he can just make another one of himself. It's kind of weird.
Oh,
but I think after the House of M, they toned him back a little bit because he became a little OP. They toned him back some, and now he has kind of like a mixture of like of his plant-based powers and also his original powers.
So he can like use wood, absorb a huge kinetic blast, and then like dish it out concussively.
Yeah,
and then he can kind of like manipulate plant life or wooden plant life a little bit, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, guys. It's not to the extent of like a Poison Ivy where he can like make a vine grow and cover
swallow
Gotham
a
City.
building. Yeah,
but no, it's more like he can touch a plant and then, or if he's like on a plant-based surface, then he like kind of becomes one with it. I
wonder how the hell that's going to work in a city. Because
I don't know.
Most of the trailer is in a city.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming that they'll probably just use his original power set.
True. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that would make more sense. But
It'd be easier, for an audience to understand.
Right. Yeah. Very much so. Okay. That's interesting as hell. Thank you for the refresher course because I forgot. Yeah. I sure as hell forgot. But
and of course he's also a pretty good hand-to-hand combatant and all that.
Hopefully
good stuff.
so. Yeah. Without that one limp foot. But yeah, or we'll see if they even give him the limp.
Yeah, if he even has it. I mean, hopefully he at least has his shillelagh.
Because technically Banshee's already made an appearance, but as a younger person.
Yeah, and Banshee's dead. In this universe,
also yes, and he died at a younger age, so there's no wife, like, no daughter, siren.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe he fathered somebody in first class we don't know about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, I'm not really sure what's gonna happen tomorrow. So off camera, let's go do this.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the same, X-Men universe that has Havoc as the older brother, the way older brother to Cyclops,
that's true. Yeah, that's totally canon.
Fox has taken some liberties. But no, so that's kind of Black Tom's whole deal, and he and Juggernaut are like besties. They love to go and do evil shit together. A lot of the shit involves screwing around with Banshee and just really making this life a living hell. But those two together are really formidable. Those two separate can be really aggressive and dangerous.
I just imagined them like, hey, it's Friday night. What do you want to do, man? I don't know, man. You want to go get some food? Nah, I'm good. You want to go screw with Banshee? Hell yeah. Where's he at? He's in the States. All right, let's go.
Yeah, let's try to kill him again.
Let's do that. Yeah. Punch my cane. We'll smack him with it. Yeah. Or how'd you say it? The shillelagh?
Yeah, the shillelagh. Yeah.
The shillelagh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Words.
Cool. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Cable.
No. Let's talk a bit about Cable. Let's.
Yeah. So
that is a much cooler mutant.
So I think that besides Deadpool, maybe arguably even more so than Deadpool, people are anticipating Cable, seeing him on screen for the first time ever. And I think that I know that they picked perfectly with Josh Brolin. I mean, Josh Brolin, it almost seems also like it's divine, like looking at Josh Brolin and then looking at a picture of Cable and you're like,
again,
yeah.
Well done, Fox. You learned how to cast well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt in my mind that Josh Brolin is going to nail this role completely.
Dude, he's just good, man. You give him shit to do, he gets it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how he works.
And then the trailers, he already looks amazing in the trailers, you know?
Yeah.
Like the metal arm and everything, just great.
Right.
Except for that one scene where you obviously see the green sleeve on purpose. Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
You know, that reminds me of a funny interview with Josh Brolin and Ryan Reynolds. I forget what is the name of that British something like a talk show in like a red room on a red couch.
Oh, he's got real short cropped blonde hair, and he
maybe
he's British as well.
Yeah.
Oh, piss. Yeah, I know what you're talking about because I see funny clips of him interviewing really cool people all the time. There's this one great one where he's interviewing Emilia Clarke and the dude from Friends together at the same time. That guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. That's worth a look up. Give me a minute. Because it's a great show. Yeah, I just... I'm literally just searching talk shows British. The Graham Norton Show.
You know,
There
I had that name in my mind. It's like, I'm
Yeah.
going to Google Graham Norton, see if that's it.
That's the show.
I was too afraid that I was going to be like completely off the wrong, like the wrong answer.
Yeah.
But Graham Norton.
There it is.
Yeah, I was watching an interview with him, and he was talking with Ryan Reynolds and Josh Brolin.
Okay.
And in this interview, it was really funny. It was really also introspective, kind of giving us a look. Of course, this was centered around Deadpool 2 and all that.
Yeah.
But Josh Brolin at one point, when they were asking Ryan Reynolds about how is it getting into the suit, like the Deadpool suit, and Ryan Reynolds was like, telling them, it sucks. That's when he made the whole comment about being like a giant, red body condom and all that. And like how, he sneezes in it and all that. And this is like, and it takes a team of people to get him in it and all that good stuff. And then Josh Brolin made the comment, he goes, one thing I got to say about Ryan here is that, he puts in the work, he trains hard to look the part for the role. And, and then Josh Brolin goes, here I am, my 50-year-old ass, busting my ass off in the gym for this guy, to try to look the part too. And then Josh Brolin says something quite interesting. He goes, I remember when I was on the set of Avengers, looking at some of those guys, and I was like, oh, those guys aren't putting in the work. They're putting on the suit, and it makes them look like they're putting in the work. And then he goes, I won't say any names, but yeah, that's kind of a thing. And I was like, holy shit.
Yep.
Like, I wonder who. I wonder which.
Yeah.
Which
like
of the...
we all have theories. Even listening to this now, we all have at least a name. I'm sure half of us have the same name in mind. But let's not slander them. Not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who it could have been, but yeah, that was an interesting side note.
We maybe pretty well know, but maybe we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just thought it was really
I
interesting.
know Chris Hemsworth is actually jacked though. Like,
we saw for a fact.
Yeah,
that
no,
he was
that
jacked,
one,
yeah.
yeah.
Now, in most of the movies, Chris Evans is, but we don't know for a fact in Infinity War if he was or not.
True, because that time he did just kind of wear dark, slimming colors, and again, he just more looked like Snake than actually Cap. But yeah.
Oh yeah, but no. Anyway, so Cable, the time traveling mutant.
Yeah.
What role primarily do you think Cable's going to play in this movie, besides the obvious thing we've already stated?
Right, besides being the antigen to our boy Deadpool here, the guy that really just wakes the hell up out of Deadpool from taking out, common people, I guess, as the Merc with a mouth. I think he's going to play the lone soldier. The guy who's on a mission, who knows why the hell he came to this timeline, and he's not stopping until he gets what he wants. And anyone, anything, any team that gets in his way is going to be pulverized by him, I don't see them doing a teamwork thing immediately. I hope they don't. I hope they really play up the You're in my way. I'm going to beat the shit out of you. You're just a goofy looking little nothing, you know? And I really hope they play that out. And I want there to be some great chemistry and, of course, some fourth wall breakage there, too, and whatnot, sure. But, yeah, I mean, at that point, aside from that, sure, eventually I'd love to see some cool camaraderie going on there, but not until we get plenty of that Cable badassery.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think that Cable is going to come off a lot like a more talkative Terminator, and I mean that in a good way.
I already see it.
Yeah. And I think he's going to come off. I mean, because think about it, especially in the terms of this movie, he's time traveling. Check.
Good timing. Yeah, wow.
He is on a mission to kill a kid.
He's on a mission from Gad.
What?
Blues Brothers.
Oh,
yeah. We're on a mission. Oh,
Yep,
you remember the movie?
Yeah, but
oh yeah,
okay, sure. He's on a mission to kill the kid, which is another check for Terminator.
Right.
He has a badass arsenal and seems to be damn near unstoppable. A third check.
Also, yes.
But with that all being said, though, I think that Cable is. I think it's going to be a lot of people's favorite part of the movie. And once again, guys, we haven't seen the movie, so this is just, my guesswork.
Exactly. That's the job of the review. We're really good at guessing these, you know?
Previews, yeah.
Or, damn it. I always forget the P. Preview, damn it. You know what time it is.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Now, as far as... I can't talk about Cable without directly talking about the kid.
Yeah, let's get into that. I was hoping we'd get into that one soon. Who do you think the kid is? Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, he has pyrokinetic abilities. So
okay.
I mean,
so we do know his abilities.
Well, from what we've seen in the trailers, he has some fire-based abilities. I mean, he could be a different version, or he could be I guess the stand-in for Hope Summers. I mean, that's the most recent child that Cable is kidnapped.
Damn, how to make him sound like the villain?
Yeah, and he's totally not. It's a great run on X-Force guys when he comes into play.
Just out of context.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm here for.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that was my first guess, was that maybe this kid is harnessing some type of power of the Phoenix Force, which is why we see that kind of fire, and then maybe. If this kid is the antigen for the Hope Summers character in this movie, then maybe maybe that's why he's coming after the kid.
Sure. It's hard to tell with the track record we have of Fox taking their liberties, because that could be the case, and they just decided to turn him from Hope Summers lookalike to fat kid who somehow has summer related powers. Summer as in the family, not the season. Just to clarify. I had another theory, and hearing that he's got the pyrokinetic thing, it kind of dequalifies it a little, even in my mind. So, in the X-Men comics, there was a lot of import given to a certain child who had a very unique, very strange, and powerful ability. Do you recall the name? Because please help me out with it, I don't know. Do you recall the name of the child who had the ability of nullification? Any mutant that was in proximity to him lost their power. Yeah. Beast approached him. Oh, he was already in a movie. Shit. I don't see that one. Never mind. That's gone. But for the sake of the conversation, do you
that's the kid from X3.
Yeah, okay. Now they definitely can't use them.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I
for the
forgot
sake
all
of the
about
conversation,
that
yeah, I mean, I thought that'd be a cool person. Like, oh, this is gonna be, someone of important to Mr. Sinister or something.
Yeah.
So we have to come back to the past and make sure that he dies before Sinister can use him or something.
I mean, which Mr. Sinister could be a possibility. I mean, I think it's going to be more still tied to the X-Men movies coming, more so than Deadpool.
Yeah, okay.
We'll love to see some Mr. Sinister. But I do not know the name of that kid.
Yeah, I thought that would have been cool.
Yeah.
But if you've already seen pyrokinetic abilities, I have to go back and watch the trailer more bit by bit rather than the whole way through to really find that.
All right. I will say this. I think it's also apparent that at one part of the trailer, the kid is wearing like some kind of collar around his neck that I'm assuming takes away his ability, whatever it is. So yeah. And then there's a point in the trailer when we see him without that necklace on, and he's kind of like looks like he's setting shit on fire or something. It's hard to see.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But that's the big question, man. Like, who is this kid? Right. And there's already a lot of like critic reviews who've seen early releases and all that. Oh. They haven't said. I think that's
okay. Good.
That's kind of a part of like the the early screenings that you can't spoil.
That's gotta be like the pre-screening oath, I guess. Yeah.
And they haven't said,
Hippocratic oath.
But like the common thing that I've heard is that you probably won't guess who it is.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. My guess is that at this point, I'm just thinking that this is a non-canonical character that they created for the movie.
Also, wild card.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We know what which is always interesting, especially for like an X-Men movie because they have so many people to choose from.
Yeah.
So
very much so.
Creating a non-canonical character from scratch is, that's a little okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, it potentially could be really awesome. Like, oh, okay, good job. Why didn't you guys think of this? Or why did you do that?
Right.
Yeah.
Or it could come up as really lazy and hokey.
Also, yes. Hopefully it's not that.
Right.
Like, oh, we got so many other great people in here. We got Ryan Reynolds and Terry Crews. Mm-hmm. We don't need this. We'll just fill in the blanks. Do what you want, Mm-hmm. Let's hope not. But the Summers theory makes good sense to the evidence we have.
Right. And we don't have a lot.
For all we know, that could have been a fake scene in a trailer.
What, the
pyro scene?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who knows how... I hope they don't do it too terribly much because then it's like, all right, well, now you're just jerking me around. Thanks, But you know how some movies will have the class act of actually giving us trailers, but some of the trailer material is, falsified. It's fake. Like Iron Man and Spider-Man flying in together, for instance, is a classic new age example of that.
Right. And in Homecoming, if you guys remember the Homecoming trailer, there's a shot of Spider-Man and Iron Man, kind of Spider-Man swinging around the corner as Iron Man is flying, and that shot actually was not in the theatrical release of the movie.
At all.
Yeah.
So...
And there's a lot of movies that do it. Infinity War did it on purpose because they said they filmed a lot of fake scenes.
Right.
So...
Actually, speaking about that, apparently there's going to be this one deleted scene in the Blu-ray release of the movie where they really wanted to make the final cut. It just didn't help the plot progress at all, but everyone loved it. It was just like a Guardian scene when they're just like standing around wondering, well, what do we do next? They really talked it up, so I'm really curious about it. But I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll have to see when we get the movie.
Yeah. But no, so back to Deadpool.
For sure. Yeah. Definitely. Let's go to the future, not the past.
Speaking of that, that's
time travel.
That's Cable's job. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
But as far as this kid goes, man, like I've been, kind of scratching my brain about it for the past couple of days. Ever since I realized that we have a preview cast to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is that I don't know. Like, there's a couple, other like pyrokinetic based type mutants that he could be, but I can't think of why this kid would be so important that Cable would come back in time to seemingly kill this kid. Or once again, it could be a Hope Summers deal where he's not coming to kill the kid; he's coming to take the kid back with him to do something that he needs to have done in the future.
Maybe.
It's hard to say. But when I think about Cable, I also think about a couple other characters. We already talked about Mr. Sinister.
Yeah.
There's also Apocalypse, but we will not see him, I can assure you.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate, I wish they hadn't done Apocalypse so soon. Especially now that we have Cable and, we're getting Mr. Sinister later on.
Yeah.
And,
they used one of their best, biggest guns too soon in the fight.
Right.
Okay.
In their defense, it was like, where do we go after Days of Future Past? which was an amazing movie. Like, where do we go after this? And they're like,
oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
But no, so other characters that come to mind, though, that, we maybe potentially see, or at least get some kind of Easter egg or reference to, maybe Bishop, another really popular time-traveling mutant.
Yes. Do you think that's still possible?
With him being in Days of Future.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a time-traveling mutant, so I think that...
Okay. Okay. Agreed. Cool. Chance. Unlikely, but chance.
Yeah.
That's my vote.
Mm-hmm. And another one would be Strife.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about Strife. Well, how could you forget about Strife in a conversation about Cable?
About Cable.
Yeah. Do you want to clarify that real quick for some of our listeners?
So Strife is actually a clone of Nathan Summers, a.k.a. Cable.
Ooh.
Yeah, but he's way more powerful. And please, let me expound.
Please do.
It's just I really love I normally don't like a lot of the time shifts, especially in the X-Men universe, because shit got really messy in the 90s.
Yep.
But the whole Cable Strife deal was one of the coolest, I thought.
Okay.
Essentially, when Scott Summers and Madeline Pryor is the clone of Jean Grey.
Correct.
Made by Mr. Sinister.
We know that. We know that bit. Yeah.
They had a child named Nathan Summers. And
Cable.
This child was infected with the techno-organic virus. Apocalypse inserted the virus into the child. In order to kill the child. And now what the techno-organic virus does, essentially, is that it transforms the person into... In most cases, it basically kills you. It transforms you into like almost a machine of types. But in most humans or mutant bases, it'll kill you. And so this child was slowly dying. But then this alien, I think she was from, what's it called? The Axani? Yeah, Axani.
Sure.
Yeah. She came from the future, the same future that Apocalypse came from. And she was like, look, let me take your child and we'll do what we can to save your child. We have the technology to save him. He's going to be very important in the war to come. So we'll save your John Connor. I mean, your Cable.
Okay.
And
I see what you did there.
You see what I did there. And so, Scott and Madeline, they gave her the baby. And this Aksani, she took the little baby back. And then, just in case the baby died, she cloned him beforehand in case she couldn't save little Nathan.
Okay.
And
now, who did the cloning? Clarify that, please. Who did the cloning?
Aksani.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Just making sure.
Yeah. And she was able to stop the techno-organic virus from spreading any further.
Hooray!
Yep. But of course, he was left permanently scarred. We see him with the arm and the eye,
which is still cool.
It is really. I mean, it gives him enhanced strength, enhanced vision, infrared vision. Mm-hmm. Cable's got some abilities that we're getting to in a little bit.
Okay, thank you. I was about to say that'd be another great thing to just kind of communicate real quick. Continuing.
And so essentially, Apocalypse, he came to the Aksani base, and the Aksani, they hid little... Aksani is both like a name and a people, by the way. So it's really confusing. But anyways,
right, okay.
Yeah, the Aksani, they hid little Cable, little Nate. And when Apocalypse came, he saw a baby. The baby was the clone, but he didn't know there was a clone. He thought that this was the baby.
Right.
And so instead, he decided to take the baby this time and to raise the baby as his own. Thinking that if this baby can survive the techno-organic virus and be fine, then maybe he's a good heir for me to transfer my consciousness into when this body runs out.
Right. Further supporting the whole only the strongest shall survive.
Exactly.
The equality that our boy here, Apocalypse, believes in. Yeah.
And so that's what he did. He took that baby and raised him as his own, thinking that the baby was the son. Mm-hmm. And he called him Strife. He taught him, that whole philosophy, survival of the fittest and all that, and then just cruelty. And Strife became a really twisted, screwed up guy. And then when it came to the time when Apocalypse was going to transfer his consciousness over to Strife, Strife was like, "What the hell, man?" And then Apocalypse was like, "What the hell, man? You're not the OG. You're not the original Nathan Summers. You're a clone." But and so yeah,
I love these verbatim quotes.
and so Apocalypse did not transfer his consciousness, and then Strife. Strife, now at this point, he hates his original family, Jean Grey, or Madeline Pryor, Jean Grey, doesn't matter, and Scott Summers. Yeah. And he also hates Apocalypse as well. Yeah. He does not like any of his family.
He probably doesn't even like his granddad. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But that's a whole nother chapter.
But yeah, so getting into both their power sets, technically, at a base form, they both have the same powers.
Which would make sense, because, they're both.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So technically, guys, Cable's abilities is he does have a really strong sense of telepathy and telekinesis. However, he has to use a large amount of his telekinetic abilities to keep the techno-organic virus at bay. So there's not a whole lot that he can still really do. Most of Cable's offensive powers comes from his strategic mind, his physical prowess, his infrared eye, of course the cool techno-organic virus arm that he has.
Right. So kind of like his Scott Summers side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes his latent powers do come through.
Right. Which is good.
Yeah.
His cloned Phoenix side.
Yeah.
Madeline, sure.
Yeah.
Right.
There
it is.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of cloning in this family.
Way too daggone much. Your family reunions are effed up.
Right. But
Dad, Strife is trying to kill me again. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But Strife's abilities are they're the same things but amplified, because Strife does not have the techno-organic virus. So he's not having to subconsciously try to hold himself together at all times. So Strife's his abilities are through the roof, man. Like mind control and manipulation, telepathic camouflage. He has this incredible suit of armor that makes him nearly impenetrable.
That's what you get whenever you're in the School of Apocalypse training. Yep. Yeah.
So he's a really imposing villain, and it'd be really fun to see him in a movie.
Do you think we'll eventually get that? That'd be the question.
What about like the post-credit scene or something?
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. That would be Deadpool 3.
Or X-Force, yeah.
Or X-Force, also, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is tasty. Give me some of that kombucha. I'm joking. That could be awesome.
I thought so too. I thought that could be really cool. I mean, they already got Josh Brolin, just
exactly. Yeah, just use him again.
Right, just use him again.
Just use him twice again. Come
on.
I mean, come on. Eddie Murphy did it. Jim Carrey did it. Come on, lots of people done.
Yeah.
Damn, that would kind of blow Black Tom Cassidy out of the water.
Right, like everything blows him out of the water in this movie.
The movie. Black Tom Cassidy is a villain. The movie Deadpool somehow wins in the end. Go figure. Cut. Post credit scene. Strife. Oh shit! Strife's in the movie. I hope. Okay, I'm gonna hope that Black Tom does some cool shit. Come on. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, Yeah, let's...
I want to. I want to, but, history as a whole with these movies, you know how it is.
Oh, yeah. Plus, you're getting a whole team of cool-looking badass heroes against Black Tom Cassidy. Yeah.
Well, the movie makes it look like it's going to be that team versus Cable. So
True. Okay, so thank you for the technical, way of the plot correction.
Right.
That's what I'll call it.
Now, what I do think could be Black Tom Cassidy is at the beginning of, I think, the first trailer, when the cab driver is in the cab listening to this, and then Deadpool is running towards the cab.
Start the
car.
Yeah.
And he's being chased by some guys. I think that maybe that could be Black Tom Cassidy's crew.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, because that just doesn't seem like Cable to me. So.
Or it's going to be a bunch of angry old people from the funeral,
That too.
Probably less that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how about we move on here and talk about the X-Force for a little bit?
Sure, let's do it. Yeah.
So the original members of the X-Force, and I even had to. I was reading Under the Gun, like I said, that old X-Force story, and I completely forgot who was in the original crew. It is Boom Boom, Cannonball, Shatterstar, Warpath, Domino, and Cable. That's the original crew.
And so, in relation, so far from my memory, I know Deadpool, the Domino, the Shatterstar.
I did not say. Did I say Deadpool? I know it said.
Yeah, you said Deadpool at the end. I thought. No? Oh, never mind then. I thought you said it. So Domino and Shatterstar.
Yep.
And then
you know Warpath.
Oh yeah, I know Warpath definitely, but I know he's not in the movie. Yeah.
No, he's not.
No, which is
funny.
A shame.
He was in Days of Future Past,
and they really downplayed him there because I
don't think he had any. Did he have a line? Maybe he had maybe 2 lines in the movie.
He had a cool action shot and 2 lines and cut to Wolverine.
Yep. Same thing with Bishop and Blink.
And Storm.
Blink had some really cool shit though, as far as her action goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the original X-Force crew.
Oh yeah.
Now in the movie, I'm still not certain who all is in it, but this is everyone that I've been able to see who's all in it.
Okay.
Of course, we have Domino, who's being played by Zazie Beetz.
Cool.
She is phenomenal. Can't wait to see her in the movie. Bedlam, who's being played by Terry Crews.
Bedlam. That's interesting.
Yep. Yeah. Shatterstar, he's been played by Louis Tan, and this guy was actually in Iron Fist. Yeah,
really?
He was.
Let's find out.
Yeah. And then we have Zeitgeist, who's being played by Bill Skarsgård. Pennywise himself.
I know, right?
So that's the crew that we get here in the movie, and there's probably more. I mean, of course, I think for the sake of the movie, they're going to put in Negasonic Teenage Warhead. I think she's going to be part of the X-Force for this movie. Maybe even, I don't know if they put Colossus in it for the sake of the movie.
Yeah, if they're part of the team or not, no idea. They might just probably be a team up of X's, the double X Deuce.
Yeah.
Yeah, the X-Force team.
Yeah.
Or the X-Force men. There it is. X-Men Force.
Force X-Men.
Force X.
Force Men X.
How many wordplays?
Yeah. But there's probably at least one new character in this movie that I'm missing, but I wasn't able to piece them. But yes, we know for a fact that it is Domino, Bedlam, Shatterstar, and Zeitgeist, and of course Peter. We can't forget Peter.
Can't forget Peter. Just flying in at the end of that trailer, okay, good luck.
Right. It is really interesting that they just put this random guy.
I know, right?
Yeah,
because everyone's like, "Who's Peter?"
Right. A lot of people think that maybe he's Pete Wisdom. I mean, he could be. That is a really obscure character. And maybe it is. So, Pete Wisdom is another mutant who he's a British mutant, I believe. He joined what's the name of that British
Excalibur.
No, like actual British intelligence, like MI13.
MI6.
Yeah, there's MI6. I think he joins a fictional group, maybe called MI13 as well. Though.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, he
7 more.
Yeah, he joins some kind of British intelligence, and he's like a super spy, and he's really stealthful and tactful, really good at infiltration, and like I think he can throw like heat blades. He can form and throw heat blades.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Kind of like what's that game? Oh, the mask. Kind of like Dishonored, but with instead of shadow powers, he has flame.
Yeah, I never played that game, so
that's kind of just like what's coming into mind.
Oh, okay.
Like he's all sneaky and stuff, and instead of throwing shadow crap, he just goes, "Oh, look, there's someone in my way. Yeah, fire knife."
Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of the crew that we're getting here, and it's like we said at the top of the podcast. I am a little afraid that the X-Force is going to be really downplayed here in terms of their characters. Like how are you gonna? Oh, and, I know for a fact there's at least one member that I'm not mentioning. There was another young lady in the movie with purple hair. She had like some kind of psionic. I don't know if it was like I couldn't really tell what kind of power it was, but yeah. I'm not sure who she is.
You're right about that. I don't recall either. My thing is, I don't think they're going to downplay the character of this movie. I think because they've definitely, prepared for Deadpool 2 in learning how successful Deadpool itself was, I think they have enough of a creative powerhouse behind them to really let the team shine and to be the new anchoring prospect of the movie. Like, hey, love us, keep coming back to and watch the movie and fall in love with this new crazy team. Kind of like the Guardians of the Fox network, But I think in doing so, it's going to go back to our original discussion at the top of the podcast, which I like that phrasing, by the way. I think it's going to go back to that in weakening the villain. I think that they're going to give good focus to the team and let the personality flourish. Maybe not to the utmost, but pretty consistently there. And then the villain is going to be like a one and done nobody.
Yeah. You know what? I would even go this far. I think it's safe. I think it's safe to say that that the villain in the movie was going to be Cable, in the sense that he's going to take the villain-esque role for most of the movie.
Right. Villain by definition of who stops the hero from obtaining his goal.
Yeah, who opposes the hero.
Right.
That's definitely going to be Cable for most of the movie. I think that Black Tom Cassidy is going to be a villain in the movie, but he is not going to be the titular focus. He's not going to be the main threat here. I think he's going to be maybe something that we get at the beginning of the movie and they deal with. I don't think he's going to be like the villain consistent all throughout.
That would be interesting then. That would kind of give a different breath into the movie, a different type of life. One that I would really just have to watch to understand and see if it's quality or if it's all just action-packed fun comedy.
I mean, because if they are truly making Black Tom Cassidy quote unquote the villain of the movie, I think that's a mistake. That's another, I hate to say it, but that's another Civil War-esque mistake. Right. Because just like Civil War didn't need a villain, this movie doesn't either.
Okay. Well, unless Cable is that primary villain, which in this case
that's what I mean.
Right, yeah. In that case, Actually, the more I think about it, it's the overkill principle, You're going hunting with a rocket launcher. Like, you don't need this much firepower. You don't need this team to take out a Black Tom Cassidy,
Yeah.
So, it's interesting.
Right. Like I said earlier, the team is definitely there for Cable.
Oh, yeah.
They're not there for Black Tom Cassidy.
I mean, that's all we've seen, too. Yeah. All right. So there's some fun stuff there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the abilities of these new estranged characters here. So
yeah, sure.
Domino's the only one that we've really got a hardcore entrance to.
In the trailers,
the trailers, yeah. I have the power of luck. Luck's not a power.
Yeah.
Yeah. That fun conversation.
Right. As far as the X-Force goes, I think that Zazie Beetz, I think, is going to be like the third, maybe fourth character that is the most fleshed out. It's definitely going to be Cable, Deadpool, and then Domino is going to be way up there too. And there's probably going to be one other one that competes as well as far as being a really good fleshed out character. Maybe Vanessa.
Maybe.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I don't see the other X-Force members being nearly as fleshed out.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
No. Fox just has a shitty track record of fleshing out.
I kind of feel you.
Members.
I kind of feel that there.
I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but
Right. I mean, me too.
Yeah.
No offense, buddy. But I could see them kind of downplaying Terry Crews because he's pretty capable, But I could see them just kind of turning him into, dumb muscle or something. But We'll see. And then other girl, which we don't even have a clear vision on who that's going to be.
No, I'm not sure what that's going to be. Like, she almost seems like a Psylocke-esque character, but she's not Psylocke.
That would be cool if she was.
I mean, but Olivia Munn was Psylocke.
Chances are no, but still, that would be super cool if she was.
I mean, for them to replace the character so soon, though, because we just saw Psylocke in Apocalypse.
Yeah, we did. I forget these Apocalypse characters, man.
You do.
Yeah. They were just like coming and going for me. Like, oh, hey, you're gone. Oh, well.
I need to watch that movie again to see if I get something more from it.
We should review that one soon. Just to kind of freshen our minds and to make it a podcast.
Or I could watch Days of Future Past for like a 5th time.
Apocalypse, Peter Dinklage. Well, who would I pick?
It's not even, no offense to Peter, it's not even him that does it for me.
No.
Not in that movie.
Definitely not Jennifer Lawrence either.
No. Everything else, though.
Everything else.
Yeah.
Magneto.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
All right.
But no, so the members of the X-Force here, of course, we have Shatterstar, who probably has one of the most convoluted backstories ever. He comes from Mojo World, not Mojo Verse, Mojo World.
Excuse me. I'm glad I made that quiet.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was...
Killed a few brain cells with that one, huh?
Oh, yeah. What are we talking about?
Shatterstar. Shatterstar, I think he's going to have some cool action in the movie. He definitely has potential for it. I'm a little upset that we won't see like a Shatterstar Deadpool sword fight. That'd be really cool.
Okay, yeah. I'm trying to think. Refresh me on Shatterstar, because that's one I'm not familiar with much at all.
So Shatterstar, he's a pretty capable member of the X-Force. Like long ponytail, red hair, has like a face mask on that almost resembles like a those masks that like boxers wear when they're like in training. Like the headgear that they wear when they're in training.
You mean the breathing mask, or or like the actual like sparring face covering gear?
No, like the ones that boxers wear. They wear like a headgear that comes down over their head and kind of exposes their face and covers the side of it. Yeah. He kind of has a headgear similar to that, but anyway, he comes from an alternate world and an alternate universe.
Wait, both?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So simultaneously?
Yeah, his.
How does that work? Rick and Morty just got confused.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to attempt to explain his origin. So yeah, if you guys want to know more about Shatterstar and his origin, definitely
it is reflected and paralleled. There you go. That's it. Done.
Oh, I thought you had to sneeze again. I didn't know what you were doing.
That's my sneeze dance. Achoo. But no, I just imagined what that would be, and that was me imagining with my hands. I do a lot of talking with my hands, which is problematic for podcasting.
But no, he's Shatterstar. He's a master swordsman, master martial artist.
Cool.
He's extremely strong for like a normal person. I think a little known fact that some people may not know, Shatterstar, he actually has hollow bones, like similar to a bird. So it makes him lighter. That gives him the ability to be more agile. He always carries around those swords, those cool ass swords that he has. Like one sword actually has 2 blades coming from the hilt. So that's pretty cool. And he's able to channel and fire some type of energy blast from them as well. So he's really capable. And there's been a time or two where he's exhibited like other powers, but not on like regular occasions.
Yeah, okay. He screams 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. First appearance was a New Mutants 99, March 91. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. So that's Shatterstar. He's a pretty serious guy all around, though. Doesn't like being fucked with.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. Which, interesting that Deadpool's going to be on the team then. But yeah.
Yeah, interesting that Deadpool is starting the team and not Cable. Like, Deadpool is starting the team to take down Cable.
Again, What's been a common theme of tonight? Fox and Liberties, man. Yeah. We'll see how they pull it off.
Yeah. Of course, like we said, there's Domino, who has the ability to affect chance and probability in her favor. So that's really cool. Almost similar to Black Cat and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. So Deadpool, not Deadpool, but Domino. Yeah, she's not only physical capable herself, but just her damn chance and probability really does help her out a lot. And
her luck stats are through the roof.
Yeah, through the roof. Like you've never seen luck stats this high. Yeah, and I really like the actress Zazie Beetz. So really looking forward to seeing her in the movie. Let's see who else was in it. Oh yeah, there's Zeitgeist, Bill Skarsgård's character.
No, let's type that in. How the hell do you spell Zeitgeist?
Zeitgeist, I think, is Zeitgeist.
Oh, interesting. They named it after.
Yeah, Zeitgeist is the actual word or terminology.
Yeah, it's from German philosophy. Apparently, it means spirit of the age or the times. So
yeah,
okay. Let me do this with the Marvel tagline. Yeah. So I don't get a philosophical page.
It doesn't apply to his powers whatsoever, but it's a cool name nonetheless.
Oh, damn. That could have been interesting, but never mind.
Yeah. No, he spews like a type of acid.
I just read that before you said it. Can spew acidic vomit. I'm sorry. You get a cool ass name like Zeitgeist, and it's weird meaning of philosophically, the spirit of age and time. Okay. But then, which character was this playing him again?
Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, that's fitting, actually. Yeah, I could totally see him vomiting up some weird stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
My first introduction to that actor was actually what's that weird ass TV show? It's
on Netflix.
Yeah, you know the one.
Yeah.
It's
was it Wayward Pines? No. Was it?
It was something like that. Though. Something woody.
Similar.
Yeah, something. It's another one of those vampire meets werewolf TV shows, but not Twilighty at all. Just more I don't know what you call it.
Right.
Mystery with a twinge of. It's a weird ass story. Yeah. What else is the show? Damn it! Where is he at? We're clicking on his face and seeing what all he's been in. Bill Skarsgård, which cool name. Hemlock Grove. That's the show. Yeah. Weird ass show.
Yeah, I haven't watched. I think it's the first episode, and I don't know. I just haven't watched it back anymore.
I saw the first season, and I was just kind of okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I never really clicked on to the second one. Yeah. It didn't catch me,
I got you. Yeah.
No offense to nobody out there,
right?
But yeah.
Interestingly enough, in that show, wasn't the actress that plays Jean Grey, wasn't she also in that?
Yeah, she played Skarsgård's mother.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, okay, she was vampiress, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't ever think they revealed whether she was a vampire or not. I'm pretty sure she had to be, but sure, why not?
Yep, just thought that was interesting. But anyways,
But of course, otherwise, Pennywise.
Yeah.
That's the big one now. Yeah.
Yeah, now he's Zeitgeist. A lot of people at first thought he was going to be Richter. I don't even know if Richter's going to be in the movie, but he is definitely going to be Zeitgeist. So he's going to be spewing shit all over the place.
Yeah.
And also, I think I've already made this reference, but his father, of course, is in the Thor movies. Yeah,
Mr. Skarsgård Sr.
Yeah.
With a name like that, I don't doubt it. Which remind me? You told me before. Remind me though.
I forgot his name now, but he's the role of the scientist that's helping Jane in the first one, and then he goes crazy in the second one.
Oh yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
Wow. Would not put those two together. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, he has a family of actors apparently.
Okay. Yep. That's cool. Hey, it runs in the family, then go crazy with it. Yeah.
Yep. Bedlam, his powers I kind of forget. I think he can affect electricity. He can shut it down if he touches it.
Remind me, which one's playing Bedlam? Is that Terry?
Terry Crews, okay. Yeah. Of course, he has super strength as well, but I think like other than his super strength, he has like the ability to affect electricity or electronic components. So like he can shut down computers, or anything that runs off of electricity.
Right.
And so that can really probably screw with cable.
Yeah, I could see that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense to me.
Yep. And then let's see, who else didn't we mention?
Other girl, which we don't really
know. We see her whipping around like an electric whip, and she has purple hair. It's probably really obvious who she is, but I'm just spacing on it. So I apologize, guys. I have no idea who that other actress is.
Like, I just pulled up the big popular picture of all of them on the plane that we see in the trailer, the one where they're all jumping off a plane. Yeah. And you got Deadpool, you got Bedlam, thank you. You got Domino right there. Mm-hmm. You got Skarsgård vomit face back there.
Vomit face.
And thank you. I like it, yeah. And then right here is another entity. It kind of looks like the clown from It a little bit with the black hair instead of the red, but who and what is that?
I honestly can't see it from here. So
okay, here, see it now from there. Does that help at all as I move my laptop?
I'm afraid not.
Okay, well, but you can see the entity.
Yeah, I literally only see 3 people in this picture.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, what the? Okay, here. Let me move my stuff one more time around here. There you go. That's like literally right beside you now. Do you see the 5th?
Okay, I see. Yeah. I see Skarsgård.
Right. Like Skarsgård's in between Domino and Deadpool. Like, look up the picture with us, folks. Unless you're driving, then don't do shit. But I mean, if you're at home, just like the stereo, get your phones out and like Google image the picture. But it's just all of them on the back of the plane. And it's like, you got, you know what? I'm going to share the picture.
Sure, yeah.
Sure. I'm just going to share the picture. It's like, who is this back here?
I honestly can't even make out like a personage.
Yeah, no, I see him.
I'm sure there's someone there, and I'm sure like in the actual movie, they'll be there.
Maybe if it's a clearer picture. That one's got like a clearer picture. It just zoomed out a little more. Like right there. You don't see that head? Right there.
Oh yeah, that's Shatterstar.
Yeah,
with the face mask.
Shatterstar.
Yeah, with the.
Yeah, that's right. The pull down face mask. Okay, that's a little different looking than it was in the comic image, but that's cool. So now we don't even see the other girl. Now we just see the people we've spoken about, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
interesting.
Who knows? Maybe she's
Maybe this is the X-Force, and she's just another
X-Man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, didn't want to get that. That's a GIF. All right. So,
but yeah. So, you got any kind of closing remarks or questions before we wrap up?
Overall, man, I will say this. We've talked a lot tonight about how we wish for this to not just be an entertaining and fun movie, that it needs to also be quality, that we need to see, in summary, a strong performance of some villain type, whether that villain be Black Cassidy somehow pulling it magically out of the bag with his, wooden powers, or with Cable performing the task of being the villain. We also need to see a good creative usage of whole teamwork here of the X-Force, and not just like flashing them and then moving on with Deadpool's Fantastic Life. But overall, man, I already know I'm gonna enjoy the shit out of this movie. You know, I mean, the trailers have been amazing, dude. How have we not talked about the Bob Ross appearance all night long? Like that alone attracted me to the movie.
Right?
Yeah, that teaser.
I'm afraid that the promotional material for this movie is gonna outshine the movie.
Really?
Yeah, I think that. Well, I'm not saying that I think that this is going to be the case, but I'm afraid that the case may be an instance where the original people didn't expect it to be nearly as good as it is, and I think the sequel may not stand a chance of living up to those kind of expectations.
Not that they're trying too hard, but more like they didn't know how to try appropriately type thing.
Yeah,
I get that. Honestly, my gamble, dude, I think honestly that this is a movie that you and I both are going to enjoy and laugh hard at, and it's going to be a hell of a movie experience, but it's not going to be a quality film. It's not going to be, nominated for some cool shit.
No. I think you're right. I think that this movie, if you like the original, then this movie is you're probably going to love this movie. Right. I think that's how it's going to go.
Exactly.
I think that it's going to do all the same things good that it did in the first movie, but better. But it's not going to do any of the bad things any better in this movie. That's what my thoughts are.
Right. Just to clarify, he means that Deadpool's going to be awesome. The villain's not going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there'll probably be a handful of side characters that are going to be really good. Well, and by the villain, once again, I want to clarify because I think that Cable is going to be that villain role. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
But I don't think that any of the minor villains are going to be any good.
Probably not. Yeah. No. Mm-hmm. All right, but yeah, I'm good, man. I gotta pee. So yeah, I'm good.
Well, unfortunately, we're going to go another hour and 45 minutes.
You son of a bitch.
So let's talk about the philosophy of the word dead and then pool and how really they merged to make
I'm going to close that laptop.
Okay, guys. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here for the evening. This has been our Deadpool preview.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any other theories or thoughts on the movie, then please, share it to the Facebook page or at our email address, that's superheroes@gmail.com. And, that way we can, get more viewpoints on this and maybe look for them in the movie.
Hell yeah.
And, of course, guys, this coming Thursday night, the 17th, look for our review because we will have a review up by then. We're going to go see the movie 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I think.
Oh, yeah. Very much so. Very excited for that. We're going to go watch that movie, get that hardcore review in so you guys can listen to that classic first half, spoiler-free, second half, always spoiled.
Oh, yes.
And
and as always, guys, be sure to check out the Patreon page. There's been an update with the Patreon page. There are now 2 tiers. You can pay $3 to get all of our new and awesome bonus content, which includes cult classics, new movies, video games, and television shows. Or you could pay just $1 a month and you get all of our new movie reviews.
Hell yeah.
So that's just not the free ones like here on the podcast for the superheroes, but that's also including movies like the new Jurassic World movie, the new Han Solo movie, and all the other non-related superhero movies coming out.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be great. They're going to be fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. But as always, guys, if you have any kind of questions, comments, gift search, food supplies, then you can hit us up at superheroes@gmail.com.
For sure.
Yeah, and also if you know who that damn kid is, hit us up. But
we'll see.
We cannot wait to see this movie and see, what thoughts of ours come to fruition.
What direction they take.
Yep, we'll see. And as always, guys, I'm Quentin.
I'm Kevin.
All right.